Good morning, Year 4. So this is our last week of the story of King Arthur and his knights, and today we're going to be looking at just two pages of the text, and we're going to be pulling out lots of vocabulary. So today, what I'd like you to do is just pause the video while you write today's date and learn an objective, which is to define vocabulary. So we're now on part 3 of the story, which starts on page 127. And remember, when we start the story, in each part, there's a little bit that just gives you a bit of a taster of what's going to happen in this part of the story. And I've just written it up onto the screen. So it says, it's the story of Sir Gawain. And it says, how a white deer appeared before King Arthur, how Sir Gawain and his brother Gaheris went after it, and what happened to them on that quest. So we know that Sir Gawain was quite close to King Arthur, and we know that something is going to happen to him in this story, in this part of the book. So have a look at that, how the white deer appeared before King Arthur, how Sir Gawain and his brother Gaheris went after it, and what happened to them on that quest. Just pause the video while you make your prediction on what is going to happen in this chapter, and then just press play when you're ready to continue. So I'm going to read page 127 to you, and you can follow it along with me as I read. This final part shall tell the story of Sir Gawain, who, as you have seen, was sometimes rough and harsh in his manner, but in whom a gentle nature and great loyalty also lay. One day, while King Arthur and his court were picnicking on the grounds, a delicate white deer burst through some distant trees, followed quickly by a handsome white dog. After a bit of a chase out in the open, the terrified deer ran back to the forest, the dog nipping closely at its heels. So that kind of sets the scene for what's going to happen next in this chapter. But we're going to be looking at this page and the next page, and we're going to be pulling out nouns. So they're words that are naming words. So they're either the names of people, which are proper nouns or places, or they are objects. We're going to be looking at adjectives, which, as we know, are describing words. We're going to be looking at verbs, which are doing words or actions. And we're going to look at adverbs, which tells us how somebody does something. So what I'd like you to do is you're going to copy this table into your book. Use a ruler so you get nice straight lines with headings across the top that say nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. So pause the video while you do that now, please. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through the story and you are going to put these words, or the words on each page, into the correct columns on your table like this. So if I read it again, okay, and you've got it on page 127, you're going to identify all of the words that are nouns on this piece of writing, all of the words that are verbs, all of the words that are adjectives, and all of the words that are adverbs. And don't worry if you don't get them all. So read page 127 and fill in your table to show which words go in which class of word. Pause the video while you do that now. So here I have got all of the words and I've colour coded them. So Sir Gawain, King Arthur, deer, trees, dog, forest and heels are all coloured in red. So they are all the same kind of word. I wonder if you spotted that they are all nouns. Oh, the cat's come to join us. And then all the words that are white, rough, harsh, gentle, delicate, white, distant, handsome and terrified, they are all, well done if you've spotted, they are all adjectives because they describe the verb. They describe the noun, the thing. The green words, picnicking, burst, chase, ran, nipping, they are all actions, so they are verbs, so they should be in your verbs column. And the words that I've colour-coded in blue, quickly and closely, are adverbs. They tell us how something is done. So it was followed quickly. Oh, actually, I've just spotted followed is actually another verb, isn't it? It's an action. And closely, so it was nipping closely. That tells us how something was done. So here are my list. And you can pause the video while you check that you've got your words in the right columns. So now you're going to do exactly the same, but you're going to do this independently this time. So I'm going to read page 128 to you. But after that, you're going to draw yourself another table and make a list of the verbs, the nouns, the adjectives and the adverbs. So I'll read it to you and then you can carry on with your work. Before the court even had a chance to turn back to their food, 2 other creatures burst noisily from the woods. They were a knight and a lady, dressed as if for a hunt. Finally, a 3rd creature appeared. He was a single knight on a black horse, and he seemed angry. Charging at the other knight and striking him with his sword, he grabbed the lady, threw her yelling across his saddle, and rode back into the forest. After a moment, 2 esquires came, picked up the wounded knight, and led the horses away. As all of this had taken place quite quickly and some distance away from the picnic site, no one in the court was able to step in. However, King Arthur asked Sir Gawain to investigate and to take his brother Gaheris as his esquire, as his helper. So you're going to pause the video now while you fill in a table using all of the words that you spot on page 128 that are nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. So pause the video now and press play when you're ready to start again. Now, lastly, using the vocabulary that you've collected today, I'd like you to create a picture in your book to show what has happened in this chapter so far. And then write a paragraph to explain what's happening in your picture. You should have lots and lots of vocabulary to choose from, so it should give you lots of ideas for your picture that you create from the text today. So good luck and I will see you tomorrow.